Hi class, I am just so sorry that I can't be there to walk you through some of this stuff, but it shouldn't be very difficult considering you already know the basis of stoichiometry in those calculations. This is just one little tiny bit, and it's a straight formula. So if you go to your Chapter 11 notes where we left off yesterday, this is just like 1 or 2 slides past where we left off. So we're going to discuss what's called percent yield. And percent yield just takes into consideration that it says the first point is that most chemical reactions do not produce the predicted amounts. Because there's things that you do that mess up how much product you actually get when you do like a reaction in the lab. Like you might spill part of the chemical, or you might mismeasure something. So kind of all of those types of errors cause you to not have what would be considered like 100% perfect yield of what you should have gotten. So in percent yield, there is what's called the theoretical yield, which is the maximum of product that could be produced. This is what you actually, like what we calculate using our stoichiometry setups. And then the other part that goes into the percent yield equation is the actual yield. So the actual yield is the amount of product that is actually produced when you do it, when you carry out the experiment. So this is what you actually get when doing the lab. So it's like you do the lab and you get 15 grams when you measure it or something like that. So this is what happens when you do the experiment yourself. What you get versus the theoretical is if you did it perfectly, like what you should have gotten. So percent yield is the product of the product is the ratio of the actual to the theoretical. So this is just the straight formula for percent yield is actual divided by theoretical. So it says right here the percent yield tells you how efficient the chemical reaction is. So obviously you would want yours to be as close to 100% as possible. You're never going to get 100% because we're human, we make mistakes. There's little errors that happen in a lab. But you're trying to be 100% yield and trying to be like 100% basically perfect. But that is not going to happen. All right, so we're going to just do a couple of practice problems here. And it's just going to use that straight formula. So just plugging in these numbers where they should be. So if it's helpful, we'll write percent yield actual over theoretical up top here. Percent yield actual over the theoretical times 100. So calculate the percent yield. So, right, we're solving for that for each of these. So I give you a theoretical yield of 25. So remember, that's what's going down then on the bottom. So 25, and then the actual is 20, so that's going up top, times 100. And when you do that calculation, you get 80% as the percent yield. So I'm not going to do B and C because it's just so straightforward, just plugging in. So here we have just a little bit different in the sense that we are calculating the actual yield. So still using the same equation, so percent yield is actual over the theoretical and times 100. So this time we're solving for that right there up top, actual. So here we're given the percent yield is 95, so right, that's going in right there. So 95 equals, we don't know the actual, so that's going to be my x. My theoretical is 20, so remember that's going in for the bottom there. And times 100. So hopefully you feel comfortable with solving for x here from math. But if not, just remember you're doing the opposite operation. So meaning this is times, times 100, so we will divide both sides by 100. Right, so that would cancel that out. I'm going to do 95 divided by 100. It's 0.95 equals x over 20. So once again, do the opposite operation. So since this is dividing by 100, right, we want to do the opposite operation. So we would multiply. Did I say dividing by 100? I meant dividing by 20. We would do the opposite, so multiply by 20, because that would cancel that out. So we have to do the same thing to both sides, multiply that by 20. So I'm going to do 0.95 times 20 on my calculator. And x is 19. So remember also your units. You are solving for actual yield. So actual yield would be 19 grams. So that's saying I was supposed to, theoretically, if I did everything perfect in the experiment, in the lab, I should have gotten 20 grams, right? But I only got 19 grams. So I was close to being 100% perfect and efficient. I was 95%. 95% yield. Okay, so now since we've discussed percent yield, now we're going to kind of tie this into our stoichiometry calculations and how you could apply this. So it says, in experiment, 10 grams of magnesium, so remember that's right here if it helps label the fact that we have 10 grams of that, reacted with excess hydrochloric acid. When it's telling you excess hydrochloric acid, it's telling you that you have tons of this, so that is not going to be limiting how much product you make. It's going to be our magnesium here. So it says at the completion of the reaction, 29.5 grams of magnesium chloride was produced. When those words are saying like was produced, hopefully that should be like a little light bulb that that is your actual yield. Alright, so it says to calculate the theoretical yield and the percent yield. So our theoretical yield, we're just going to use stoichiometry to convert these 10 grams to, what is it, magnesium or magnesium chloride. And once we get that, we can solve for our percent yield. So starting off with our 10 grams of magnesium. This is just like normal with our like 3 steps. We're going to do molar mass, then mole ratio, then molar mass. So remember, we have grams here, so we want grams on the bottom. So I look up my molar mass of Mg, right? 1 mole of Mg. I think it's 24.3. So now our next step here is going to be our mole ratio. So we have mole of Mg, right? So we want mole of Mg diagonal. So then we look at our balanced equation. So here's my Mg. There's nothing in front of it, right? So just a 1 mole of Mg. And then up top, remember what we're trying to get to. Remember we said we're trying to get to this one, MgCl2. MgCl2. And the coefficient in front of that is 1 as well. So now our last step is now going to be our molar mass of MgCl2. So Cl is 35.5 mass. Multiply that by 2, 71 grams. And then, like we had before, can't read down below there, Mg is 24.3. So now we'll add those together, and that will give us the molar mass up here, 95.3. Alright, so now we will calculate that. So what we just calculated here is our theoretical yield. So we just did that part of the question. Now the next part we're doing is the percent yield. So remember, percent yield is actual over the theoretical times 100. So our actual, remember we labeled that before, it's that 29.5 given in the problem. So we're going to divide this by our theoretical, right? That's going on the bottom. So 39.2. You're not going to be able to read when I write on the blue part. 29.5 divided by 39.2 times 100. .3% yield. So these are our two answers. That and that. We answered those two questions of the theoretical yield and the percent yield.